So far, I'm getting a little tired of interruptions. This is a little chart we had yesterday. So arithmetic. If you have this from yesterday, you don't have to recopy it, but make sure you have everything. Geometric, they have a sub n, s sub n, and then s infinity, which we haven't covered yet. The arithmetic is a sub n is equal to a1 plus d parentheses n minus 1. That's the first one we learned. Geometric, we eventually learned was a1, or a sub n is equal to a1 parentheses r to the n minus 1. That's where you multiply repeatedly. The formula for s sub n for arithmetic is n over 2 parentheses a1 plus a sub n. So this is the number of pair. This is Karl Gauss's formula. This is the number of terms divided by 2, and then the first term plus the last term. We have not covered this. This is going to be the first time we've seen this. It's going to be a1. It starts just like the term. And then parentheses. It's going to be a big fraction. The top is 1 minus r to the nth power. And the bottom is 1 minus r. So the good news is the top and bottom are almost clones of each other. Just the top has a power on the r. This is not actually supposed to be n minus 1 this time. It's supposed to be n. The n minus 1 show up in the arithmetic, well, in the formulas for this. You'll notice there's no n minus 1 here. There won't be an n minus 1 here also. The nth term has n minus 1, n minus 1. The nth sum does not for each one. Let me just try this example. Suppose you have 2, 6, 12, 24, dot, dot, dot. You will need a calculator for this most likely. Geometric sums get very big very quickly. And they're very, very hard to calculate by hand. So first things first. Is this, first of all, is this a sequence or is it a series? Brendan?
It is a sequence.
Sequence, how do you know?
Because it's not adding, it's just a list of numbers.
Right, just a list of numbers with commas, it's not adding. If it were 2 plus 6 plus 12 plus 24 plus blah, 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 that would be a series. So a series is when you do sum. A sequence is when you do individual terms. So it's a sequence. Is it arithmetic, geometric, or neither? Mia Jack. Well, it's definitely not adding. So 2 plus, it would be have to add 4 and then add 4 and add 4, and it doesn't work. So what was that?
It's not. It's also not multiplying because.
Correct. Why not?
If you multiply it by 3, and then 6 times 3 is 18.
Right. This spoiled it. Everybody catch? It was times 3 times 2 times 2. If this had been like, 3, 6, 12, 24, that would have been perfect. This is not. If that happens on a test, you can kind of rejoice and be glad because you're not on to find the nth term, usually, and you're not on to find the nth sum. You just say neither and then move on. Does that make sense? Now let me change another one. Let me change it just a little bit. Arithmetic, geometric, or neither? Rob?
Geometric.
Geometric. Why do you say that?
Because you're multiplying by 2.
Correct. What did you just find? What letter? I'm sorry?
Hmm?
What letter did you just find?
R.
R. R equals what? 2. That's the proof that it's geometric. If you can tell me the common ratio. What they're multiplying by over and over and over and over. In this case, yes. Now, Can somebody give me the 10th term? Actually, let's start at the beginning. Can somebody give me just the general formula for the term? A sub n. Jack, help me out with this one. How do you get the formula for A sub n again?
A1
Uh-huh.
plus B times n minus.
That's for arithmetic. This is geometric. It's up here if you want.
A to the first minus R.
Okay, this is not a to the first, by the way, it's A1. A to the first would be if the one were up here. But this is sort of like A1, it's kind of like John Smith. It's like first and last name. So anyway, A1 and then times what?
R to the n minus 1.
Good, use that. What's A1? Just ignore this one because it didn't work.
3.
3, and then what?
Times.
Yeah, times the parentheses. Now what?
2.
Say again?
2.
2 to the power of what? And just copy paste.
N minus 1.
N minus 1. That's all you have to do. That's the formula that will find any term you want in this sequence. Let me see. Maria, find the 10th term for me. Tell me how to do that. Like, what does the formula look like if you do that? Mhm. Mhm. To the 10 minus 1. Especially, yeah, go for it. When you're using a calculator, and by the way, you should have your calculator out. Does anybody need a calculator to borrow? Okay. Do try and look for your calculator. You can use it. I don't mind loaning it to you, but if you have your own, you'll find it more comfortable with it. How many people need one? 1? Anybody else? Any calculator? 2? Okay.
You say bye to me. Wow.
Okay. And please do get these back to the NDR. When you're typing this in, a quick question. Okay, you'll need something other than a scientific. You'll need a scientific. No, it doesn't.
That's a.
Do you? Okay. It's theoretically possible to do it with that, but it takes time.
Yeah, it takes a while.
You'd have to like do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 manually. So this, when you're typing in 3 times 2 to the power of 10 minus 1, again, if you do this, 3 times 2 to the power of 10 minus 1, you will get the wrong answer. If you want to type it in like that, you need parentheses around this. It's actually a lot easier just to do this in your head, it'll be 9 power. But if you're typing it in as is, make sure that this is grouped together. If you have one of those special calculators that actually raises the thing up, then you might be able to get away with it. But I would say put parentheses around anything like that. So type that in, 3 times 2 to the power of 9. What do you get? Yeah. That's 2 to the 9th. Now times 3.
What? Oh.
What do you got?
1,536.
1536. That is
No,
correct.
I just say the wrong answer.
So the 10th term in this sequence is 1536. Question?
I actually got it too.
Okay, go for it. Check YouTube. I'll have this posted by 7 p.m.
Coincidence?
Everybody okay so far? That's how you do the term. That should bring us up from yesterday. New question.
I think I need to leave.
What am I asking for now, John?
The sum of 10 numbers.
Yes. The sum of 10 of these. Look up here. See where I'm pointing. The sum of 10 of these. How? We do not have 10 of these. We only have 4. There's two ways at least to do this problem. One is very long and one of them is a bit shorter. The very long way is to generate the rest of the 10 terms and then add them up by hand. It's possible to do that. Two problems with that. Number one, it takes forever. Number two, if you hit the wrong key, you'll never know it, and you'll get the wrong answer. That's one of the reasons why calculators are a little scary. All it has to be is your finger grazes the wrong button once, and you'll never know it, and the answer is going to be trash. The calculator only gives back what you give into it. So, there is a formula for this. Look up here. Tell me what to do. What does it start with? Evelyn. Yeah, 3. So it's A1, then parentheses, big fraction. What's on top?
1 minus 3, 2.
2 to the 10th power, correct. Not 2 to the 9th, 2 to the 10th. Over what?
1 minus 2.
2. Write that down. Don't plug it in yet. I would strongly recommend you simplify this before you plug it in. The less stuff you have to type in, the less chance you'll have a calculator error or parentheses in the wrong spot or whatever. Does anybody see anything you could simplify easily?
Equals here.
There's one little piece of this that's relatively
I
easy to do.
know.
Yeah.
The ones. The
Uh,
twos.
Can I cancel the ones?
You can't, no.
Can I cancel the 2s?
Yeah, no.
Why not?
Because they're connected.
Yeah.
Wait, so you can just
That's
do
an addition
1
sign.
minus 2, which is -1.
Exactly. That I would do first. It's easy, it's quick, and it's less stuff to type in. Now, here's an even better thing to do. You see the 3 times this divided by this? Can somebody tell me what 2 to the 10th power is? Just what is this? Do this, yeah.
1024.
Yeah, write that in. 1 minus 1024 over -1.
2 times 2 times
See what we just did? Do it a piece at a time. It's a lot easier than trying to figure out where to put the parentheses.
That's not good.
We don't need the commentary. Okay.
Oh,
Do it
sorry.
inside, not outside.
Okay.
Rob, take over. What else can you simplify?
1 minus 1024 is
What is that?
negative 1023.
Yeah, negative 1,000, let me write that first. Negative 1023 over,
Negative 1.
what's negative 1023 over negative 1?
1023. Positive.
Cancel, positive 1023. There's one last thing to do. Go.
Multiply by 3, and that's,
Do it.
3069.
You are looking at the 10th sum. If you add up the first 10 numbers, you will get that, guaranteed. Does that make sense? All right, now, this next one is going to be a little bit more annoying. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Try it anyway. Let's try it. 1024, 256, 64, 16, dot, dot, dot. So here's my question for you. Arithmetic, geometric, or neither?
Oh.
Don't just guess. Use your calculator, it might be able to help.
I know. What?
Remember, don't just stab. Try, just a second. Run it.
It is geometric.
Geometric, prove it. What's
Dividing-
happening over and over?
It's dividing by 3.
Close.
No, dividing by 2. Oh no, dividing by 4.
They're dividing by 4 over and over and over again. Now,
That's not
remember
right.
the definition of geometric? It's when you multiply over and over and over.
I have a question.
Now, just a second, please. So you're dividing by 4, which by the way is right. Can anybody rework that so that you're multiplying? Yes, you're multiplying by 1/4. So when I ask you to prove your answer, prove it's geometric, what would you say? What letter are we looking for?
4. R.
R. R equals what? What are you multiplying by over and over?
4.
One
1
over
4.
1 4. Good. That's your proof that this is geometric. So if you put R equals 4 on the test, you're going to get most of your points taken off. Question. Okay, go for it.
Why are you
Check
all
YouTube.
leaving? Can I just leave?
Everyone right so far? Here's your sequence. You've proved that it's geometric and that R is equal to 1 4.
I have a question.
The worksheet, oh,
How would
heavens.
you ask for your
Um,
homework? That's just stupid.
I'd have to run down to get it. How about I email it to you?
Why would you ask for your homework?
Not so much.
I have a question.
So, here's my question for you. Can somebody find the 10th term? Go,
I can.
go ahead.
You do the formula.
How so?
You do SN.
Looking for it.
problem. You do, wait a second,
I'm not looking for the sum yet. I'll do that in a minute,
wait,
but I want the 10th term.
you want the 10th term? Oh.
Okay, keep thinking, go.
Oh,
Do,
uh,
1,024.
The first term, we're using this thing. Okay.
oh, I can do this.
That is it, we're already in the middle of something.
And then,
Well,
1 4.
Good, 1/4 to the power of,
It would be 1, yeah.
to the power of what?
What? Wait, oh, 9.
Yeah, 10 minus 1.
I'm confused.
So everybody look up here and there's a little less noise in it. Just a moment, please. I just want to shut up the last.
Shush, so I can get my question
Thank you,
answered.
go, question.
Can I go to the bathroom, please?
If you hurry back.
Okay, thank you.
Solve. How do you do this? Brennan, go.
10 minus 1 is 9.
Correct, definitely.
1/4 times 1/4 times, wait a second,
Yeah.
wait, would we do 1,024 times 1/4 first, or would we do?
You tell me. Excellent question. 1,024.
No,
hang on.
exponents go first.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. So 1/4 to the power of 9. I want to know how to, now this is something that a calculator could probably help with. How do you type it in? A calculator is useless if you don't know how to type it in properly. Go.
On this one,
Like how, what would you actually type in?
1, 0,
1 0 2
or
4.
2, 4. And then you do times,
You could,
then,
whenever you have a fraction, I would literally use parentheses.
oh.
And by the way, it does multiply if you snug the parentheses in.
4,
And then parentheses.
parentheses.
Uh-huh.
And then you do the
How do you do this?
1, and then you do the A, B, slash C.
I wouldn't actually.
Or you wouldn't. That's cool.
No, that's close. I don't blame you for doing that. But,
It was Kevin.
oh, over here, how do you do a 1/4 in the calculator? It's very, very close. What does this bar mean?
Divide by.
Go,
Division.
division. I would do 1, hit the divide key, hit 4.
I'm too good at this game.
Now, physically close the parentheses. Does everybody have parentheses keys on your calculator?
Yes.
No, focus on me and not on each other. Okay.
Oh.
Everybody listening to what I'm saying? So you don't miss anything? Because if you're only listening to 60% of what I say, chances are you're only gonna get 60% on the test. That's bad. When you divide, that makes a fraction. So if you need a fraction, hit divide. There are some calculators that have a fraction function. I would not use that unless there's absolutely no other choice, because they can goof up. How do you do this to the power of 9? Go.
You do the thing, the like hat triangle.
Yeah, if you have a TI calculator, it's a little hat. It's called a caret, C-A-R-E-T. If you have another style of calculator, it might look like this. You might have a key that looks like that. That's the power key. So then have the power of
Oh.
9. I've just had lots of them. Go.
I did that, and I got 0.00390625.
Okay, say it again.
0.00390625.
0625.
That's the answer. Thank you for congratulations.
I would accept that.
I bet you would.
I would
Yeah,
accept
this is
that.
the right answer.
That is the answer. And by the way, that is, I do know this, this is not an infinitesimal. It didn't round off. That's the exact answer. Everybody okay so far? I want to show you one other way to get that same answer. It might be easier, or it might be harder depending on your calculator. So you got to grab your calculator and see if this works. Try it over here. Look over here. Part of this is done by hand. Watch this. 1024, I'm just going to write it the way I would write on paper. 1/4 to the 9th. Math people, pretend you don't even have a calculator. How do you raise a fraction to a power? Let me ask that again. How do you raise a fraction to a power? You've done this many times this year.
Oh,
Go.
power the things.
Tell me.
Power
1024 times what?
The 1 over
Sort of.
4 to the 9. 1 to the 9th.
1 to the 9th over?
1 over 4 to the 9th.
Good.
4 to the 9th.
Whoa, 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 slow down, slow down. Does everybody see where that came from?
Yes.
When you raise a
Overflow.
fraction to a power, you do the top and bottom separately. What is 1 to the 9th?
1.
It's just 1. So 1024 times 1 over, somebody type in just plain old 4 to the 9th. It's relatively big, yeah.
262.
I'm Jay.
252,144.
That's what I got.
The reason I'm showing you this, look up here, everyone. So one method is just type it in. This is actually a little bit on the lucky side because your calculator was big enough to hold the entire answer. And the fact that it's ending in 2.5 told me, I just have seen this problem before. So when it ends in a multiple of 5, you're pretty much at the end. If you had had a calculator that had 2 less digits, it would have rounded off and you got the wrong answer. Look over here then. This is doing it by hand. Just raise the fraction to a power and do it by hand.
The same thing.
Now, question. Can somebody do 1024 times this mess? What does it look like? Go. What does it look like? Just give me the fraction.
1024.
Yeah.
Over. Oh.
This is really 1024 over what?
1.
1.
Oh.
So don't change the bottom. 262,144. Everybody still with me? Should be focusing up here. Get your pen?
Huh?
Got your pen?
Yeah.
Then let's use it.
In my pocket.
Yes, that's not the place for it.
Okay.
So, can you reduce it?
Yes, I can. 1024 divided. Oh, never mind.
Now, if you type in 1024 divided by 262,144, you'll get this,
And indeed I.
which is great, but I want to reduce it, not decimalize it.
Oh, gumdrops.
Does 1020, this is getting out of control. I don't mind when things are lighthearted. I do mind when things go crazy and off the rails. Okay, there's a difference. Self-control can keep us still being lighthearted and not going goofy to the point we're not getting anything done. Clear? I want to see if this reduces. They definitely reduce by 2. They might reduce by 4. They might reduce by something bigger. If you reduce by 2s, you're going to be at it for a while. Question, does 1024 go into that bottom number? If it does, then we can reduce it in one shot. Check on your calculator. How would you tell if 1024 goes into 262,144? Divide it, but divide it the other way around. Do 262,144 divided by, did you get it?
Yeah, it was 256.
So what's this fraction?
1 over 256.
1 over 256 is your exact answer. By the way, take your 1 over 256 and type it in. Do 1 divided by 256. Tell me what you get. It's this.
Wait.
So this is a way around.
Divided by.
If I say, give me an exact answer, don't round off, you'd better hope you either have a huge calculator that has lots of digits, or use this method.
0.625.
Because I might have a problem that has 1 over, 1024, which might be too much for your calculator. But not too much for you. Questions so far?
I don't know.
Let me show you, I have 2 more examples. Let's try this. And then I want to give you a sneak peek into what happens when you do an infinite problem. If you have nothing else in your notes, have this.
Okay.
If it's not in your notes, fix that fact.
Can we add that?
And make sure it's somewhere where you can find it again.
That would be noted.
Yes, I would put that in the chart. If you have the chart from yesterday or today, put that in. Here's another one. Let's say, go ahead and write that down. 1,048,576, comma, 524,288, comma, 262,144, comma, blah, blah. Actually, well, I'll give you one more. Arithmetic, geometric, or neither.
Those are.
You have a
all-
calculator at your disposal.
I can't.
Use it. Again, a calculator is not a magic box that thinks for you. It cannot.
It's a magic word.
If you don't know how to plug stuff in, it will be useless. It'll be worse than useless, because whatever it gives you, you'll just write down, whether it's right or wrong, which is a very bad idea.
Can you give us a hint, is it going up or down? I can't really, it's too many numbers to see.
This is maybe a teeny little.
It's 2. Something about
Okay.
2.
It's going down.
Just divided.
Andy?
That's,
Oh, I know.
what do you think? Of course, is it going up or down?
Up, down. I don't know.
Down,
Down,
it's down.
Gianna.
Oh, down.
It's going down. This is 1,000,000 something, this is 524,000.
I know.
Yeah.
It's divided by 2. Yeah. I got it from my
So
calculator.
dividing by 2, does it do it over and over?
I don't know.
How would you find out?
One
It
second.
Go, Isabel.
It does. Yes, it.
Actually, why don't you tell me? How would you tell? Because by the way, I was right. This is division
Oh,
by
I'm
2.
right. Okay.
How would you tell if it did it again? Like if you have a calculator in front of you, how would you check? Because if it does divide by 2, divide by 3, divide by 4, game over. But if it does divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, we can do something. How would you
The
check?
last digit is a divide.
That's clever, and then say that's a possibility, but they might have gotten something wrong here. How would you use your calculator to prove it?
Just.
Okay,
Divide.
type this in. This has
Oh,
to do-
I know what I did.
Just a second, don't. Keep the hands down, and don't talk. Hands down. Don't talk.
Sorry, I was a bit.
Good, and then try divide by 2, see what you get.
262,144. Yes.
That's how you check. Try it again, do you have that on screen still? Hit divide by 2 again.
1310.
Got it. In other words, does this look good?
Yeah.
Yes. Arithmetic, geometric, or neither? Really getting tired of the interruptions. There's no excuse for this. Please cooperate. Start me off, Mia Jackery. If you divide repeatedly, what kind of a thing is this? Arithmetic, geometric, or neither? Geometric. Now, geometric definition is you have to multiply over and over and over. What are they multiplying by? Yeah, what letter is that? R, exactly. This is geometric because R is equal to 1/2. Now, here's my question. what is the 20th term? Use your calculator. You will have to know, and by the way, you're not using this one. That's the sum formula. I want the term formula. Somebody set it up for me. Maria, help me out. What would you put first? I got A20, which goes here. Keep going.
1,
Uh-huh,
0, 4, 8, 5, 7, 6.
good. And then parentheses what?
1/2.
Uh-huh, to the power of what?
20 minus 1.
Good, 20 minus 1. What would you do mathematically first? Catherine, take over. There's something relatively easy you can do first.
20 minus 1.
What is that really? 19. I would do that right away. Change that to 19. Because typing in 20 minus 1 causes all types of problems. How do you raise 1/2 to the 19th power? Andy?
1/2 to 19th power, we do 1 to the 19th power over 2 to the 19th power.
Yeah, write this 1048,576, 1 to the 19th over 2 to the 19th. Rob, what is 1 to the 19th power? 1. So I'm gonna rewrite this, 1048,576. The top is 1, what's the bottom? Rob,
It's 524288.
okay, Isabella, question.
Alright,
Oh, and take over. How am I supposed to reduce this? It's this times that.
The 104 number under 1.
Yeah. So the whole thing is 1048,576 over 524288. Now, if you're super duper lucky, that'll come out as a whole number. If you're not, then it should at least reduce. Okay, math people, tell me what it is. Use your calculator. Yeah. It's 2.
It's 2.
It goes in exactly. What did you just find? Not 8 to the 20th, that would be up here.
19th. Wait, no, 8A.
There's a different way to write it.
The 20th A.
The 20th A, in other words, the 20th, so it's the T,
A term.
term, the 20th term. The 20th term is 2. Now I'm gonna ask you one more thing. What's the 20th sum?
I can't do it.
How to get the 20th sum?
I don't know. It's up at that point.
Let me get this thing over here erased. Shouldn't need this anymore, I hope. Let me just rewrite it over here. S20. Somebody talk me through it? How do you start? Rosie, take over. Here's your phone. Which is what?
1,048,526.
Uh-huh. Parentheses, big fraction.
1 minus 1/2
Sort of. Not 1/2 n, but 1/2. To the nth power. In this case, what power?
20.
Yeah, because this is n. 1/2 to the 20th power over what?
1 minus 1/2.
1 minus 1/2. Go ahead and write that down, everybody. You use all of your arithmetic skills from the last 5 years. I want you to simplify that. What's the first and easiest thing to simplify?
1 minus 1/2.
What is 1 minus 1/2?
I don't know.
1/2.
Oh, 1/2.
1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. Can anybody see anything else we could do with that? How do you divide by a fraction?
find reciprocal
What about reciprocal?
and multiply it.
Multiply by the reciprocal. So instead of dividing by 1/2, what are you multiplying by?
2.
2. Here's what I want you to do. You see this dividing by 1/2? Get rid of it and multiply by 2.
Figure it out.
The problem has just gotten easier. Not easy, but easier. The top here is 1,040,576 times this step. How do you take 1/2 to the 20th power? What do you think, Jeff? How do you do a fraction to the 20th power?
Multiply each, so
Yeah, top and bottom, not multiply, but raise it to the
25.
power. So I got 1,048,576 times what? How would you write that?
1 to the 20th power.
Over
2
2 to the 20th power. And this whole thing is times 2. Ever wrote so far? Let me see. Mia, take over.
Is there still a minus one?
I beg your pardon?
Wait,
Oh,
can you
whoops,
just-
sorry, whoops. Yeah, 1 minus, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, good catch. Oh, actually, yeah, oh, that was dumb of me. Let me just, yeah, this is gone. It's
Right.
1 minus 1 to the 20th over 2 to the 20th. Thank you, that was much better. Now what? Can anything in there simplify? Rob? Pick, no matter how big or small. There's one thing in there that's relatively easy.
The 1 to the 20th over 2 to the 20th.
What's 1 to the 20th?
1.
1, that's the easy part. Do that. What's 2 to the 20th power? Type it in.
The same number that's outside the parentheses.
Interesting. 1,048,576, parentheses 1 minus 1 over 1,048,576, all times 2. We're 3 steps away from being done.
3 steps.
That's not the attitude we need. What next? How do you subtract these? How do you subtract with fractions? You need a what? Common denominator, like what?
That
This
one
thing.
is-
Yes. So 104, the thing in front just sits there.
Yeah, me too.
This is going to be fraction minus fraction. This one's still the same. 104,8,576. And then the times 2 is at the end. What's this going to be? What's the bottom have to be?
104,857.
Yeah, 104,8,576. What's the top?
Same.
Same thing. 104,8,576. Nice. Let me see what to do.
It's 1.
1048. Keep going. 575 over 1048576 times 1048576
Guys,
times 2. Does anybody see what's going to finish this problem? There's a dramatic thing that happens that makes your
You can cross cancel.
these cancel.
Oh my gosh, you just.
Congratulations. What's the only thing left?
Ow. 1048576. No,
This is
5
5
times 2.
times 2.
Which
Do it.
is 2097150.
2097150. Congratulations.
That was painful. Not give us a big number.
Be prepared, you might need to do that.
I don't know if I can.
It's probably not gonna be that big, but it might be. Just be aware. There are ways to simplify one tiny piece at a time. If you tried to do this whole thing at once, it'd be a monster. But doing it one little piece at a time, this was easy, subtracting 1. This was super easy, they cancel. Just keep your eyes open, and sometimes a dramatic thing will make your problem a lot
I have a
faster and
question.
easier. Good question.
Can you make it easier and not make us do that?
No.
Wait, Mr. Coptos,
Mhm.
so, what's the formula that you use? What's in the geometric thing on top of
This
it?
one.
So when do you use that and when do you use the other one?
Geometric, whenever you're multiplying repeatedly. Like anything that's a geometric sequence, you'd use that for a sum. Like if I do 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, if I keep multiplying by the same thing, you use this for the sum.
When do you use the other geometric one?
What do you mean other geometric one?
Oh, when it's okay, yeah.
That would be an arithmetic one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the A sub whatever?
Yeah, the A.
That's finding a single term. This is adding up the first 20 terms.
Oh, sheesh.
Like this thing here. Like what would you get if you added up the first 20 numbers? You'd get this.
You would?
Uh-huh.
That seems a lot smaller than I would think.
Well, I wrote it small. It's over 2 million. And this is over 1 million. This is
Oh, that-
1
that-
million,
that's basically
1.5
the
million,
half
1.75 million. It gets just a teeny bit over 2 million. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
That can make sense.
One last day, don't get used to this, no homework. Tomorrow there will be homework, there'll be a worksheet.
Monday?
Yeah, Monday, yeah, don't show up tomorrow. Please stand.
Any homework. I have
People who left early, Merry Christmas late. Please stand. Whatever. Face the crucifix, please. Yana. Ahem. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. If you borrowed a calculator from me, please turn them back on my desk. They will have my name on the back in case there's any doubt. Yes, please. See y'all later.